Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is your boy KazariALPHA, and we are here on this beautiful Super Bowl weekend with some political commentary. I have prepared for you an insane conspiracy theory. Internet sleuths go wild over new Epstein and Fortnite claim. This is coming from the Rational National, so I guess without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in and see just what goes on with Jeffrey Epstein and Fortnite.
Is Jeffrey Epstein actually alive and in Israel playing Fortnite? Well, in this video, I will dive into this claim that internet...
No, he's not. That is not a thing that is happening.
Escaped to Israel.
Please, God.
To Fortnite and Rocket League. So look, I know it's hard not to laugh at the claim, but there are reasons why people are believing this. So I'm going to honestly deal with the claims that are being made.
Because they have to be insane. There's no way. There is no possible way that this is a theory that is being taken seriously.
I'm also going to get to a photo that some are claiming shows Epstein in Israel.
For those of you guys out of the loop, Jeffrey Epstein was a notorious pedophile found guilty in I believe it was like 2009 or somewhere in the early 2000s of sex trafficking minors. And what was Jeffrey Epstein actually found guilty of? Jeffrey Epstein, and what did he do? The financier, who had ties to celebrities, politicians, and royalty, was arrested on multiple disturbing charges. He died by suicide in jail, but questions about his life and crimes still remain. Arrested July 2019 on charges of sex trafficking and conspiracy to engage in sex trafficking, who was denied bail ahead of his trial. What did he... I know he had done something before that. He was arrested earlier and got some kind of sweetheart deal. Yes, from Alan Dershowitz. Epstein and Alan Dershowitz, who was part of the legal team that defended Epstein in his 2008 sex abuse case. So he was found guilty of abusing minors in 2008. And since then, they've been trying to rehabilitate his image. And in 2019, he was arrested again on charges of sex trafficking and conspiracy to engage in sex trafficking. Now, we just heard from Ryan Grimm of Breaking Points and Dropsite News that there was some speculation that Jeffrey Epstein was ready to cut a deal with the United States government in 2019. If you remember, that is when Donald Trump was in his first term as the president. So with that knowledge, did the Trump administration go ahead and have him, I guess, is the question on everybody's mind. What possibly could have Jeffrey Epstein knew with all the files that have been released over the past week and a half? It's safe to assume that Donald Trump would have considered him very dangerous to his campaign and to his public image. So since 2019, there's been much speculation about the true reason and the true cause of Jeffrey Epstein's death. I guess this is just another chapter in the insane theories that have been circulating around this man and his crimes.
I'm also going to get to emails that reveal a username that Epstein often used and how that ties into Fortnite and Rocket League. So first, let me start with the ties to Israel, because this part of the claim is really important. If he escaped to Israel, then he must have ties with the Israeli government. Well, this part is absolutely true. So there's a great breakdown here from Zateo on Epstein.
The Epstein files, which have still not been completely released, have countless indications of Epstein's ties to Israel, some of them cheekier than others. In a 2018 email, as Epstein sought to arrange a meeting between former Prime Minister Ehud Barak and former Qatari Prime Minister Hamid bin Jassim bin Jabbar Al Thani, I probably butchered the fuck out of that. He appeared to joke, "You should make clear that I don't work for Mossad," smiley face. Ooh. "Hi, Jeff. Are you going to be in London on Thursday?" Best. Ehud Barak. "Unfortunately not. You should make clear that I don't work for Mossad." You or I. That I don't. Oh, yeah, Israel. No.
sought to arrange a meeting.
Not looking good. Not looking good. The exchange is one of thousands of documents linking Epstein to Ehud Barak. The former Israeli prime minister was not only in constant contact with Epstein, Barak repeatedly visited Epstein's homes in New York and Florida. He traveled to Epstein's Island. He even asked for Epstein's advice on writing op-eds. Jeffrey Epstein stands between Ehud Barak and Woody Allen in an undated photo from Epstein's estate, published by U.S. House Oversight Democrats in December of 2025.
Thousands of documents linking Epstein.
Says down here, Barak had previously denied attending any of Epstein's parties or activities. Yet, here he stands, alongside the former sex trafficker.
Only is in constant contact with Epstein. Barak repeatedly visited Epstein's homes in New York and Florida. He traveled to Epstein's Island. He even asked Epstein's advice on writing op-eds. So clearly Epstein...
The pair exchanged various ideas for business ventures and partnered up to invest in security tech startup. At another point, Barak had asked Epstein to invest in another tech firm run by veterans of an Israeli weapons company. In 2013, as Barak was departing his role as Israel's Minister of Defense, Epstein encouraged him to look at two companies, including Palantir, the tentacular tech company that has since aided Israel's genocide of Palestine and helped immigration and customs enforcement terrorize people in the United States. Epstein suggested that Palantir co-founder Peter Thiel could replace Barak on the board of the company. Dropsite News has reported extensively on Epstein's ties to Israeli intelligence, often working alongside Barak, setting up meetings for him, and pursuing various deals. This includes Epstein's alleged roles in helping broker an Israeli security agreement with Mongolia, helping Israel build a back channel to Russia by connecting Barak with Russian President Vladimir Putin in attempts to remove Bashar al-Assad from Syria, helping the Israeli government sell a security and intelligence deal to... So I'm not even going to try to read that. I'm going to destroy that one. Pursuing funding from the Swiss mega private bank Edmond de Rothschild to fund an Israeli cyber weapons empire. Liaising for Benjamin Netanyahu and Barak in order to open doors for a massive offshore gas project and more. He even welcomed an Israeli spy to stay at his apartment for weeks at a time.
It goes on and on, by the way. I'll link to this below the video in case you want to read through the whole thing. Israeli Mossad.
There's also allegations that Epstein was involved with the Israeli Mossad, basically the Israeli intelligence. An FBI document citing contact with a confidential human source, CHS, an informant who leveled similar accusations. Referring to Epstein's lawyer, Alan Dershowitz, the file reads that Dershowitz told CHS that if he were young again, he would be holding a stun gun as an Israeli intelligence Mossad agent. CHS believed Dershowitz was co-opted by Mossad and subscribed to their mission. CHS still continues to communicate occasionally for Dershowitz. Dershowitz has not publicly commented on the specific allegations and did not respond to my request for comment.
Citing contact with the confidential human source, CHS, an informant who leveled Yahoo, the war criminal wanted by the ICC, who said Epstein's unusual close relationship with Ehud Barak doesn't suggest Epstein worked for Israel. It proves the opposite.
In fact, it proves the opposite.
I mean, when you go all out to try and claim, no, all these thousands...
Notorious truth teller Benjamin Netanyahu is on the record now on Twitter. I can't believe that's what we're referring to as the record. Saying that indeed Jeffrey Epstein had no ties to Israel. Stuck on his election loss from over 2 decades ago, Barak has for years obsessively attempted to undermine Israeli democracy by working with the anti-Zionist radical left in failed attempts to overthrow the elected Israeli government. Barak's personal fixation led him to engage in activities publicly and behind the scenes to undermine the government of Israel, including fueling mass protest movements, fomenting unrest, and feeding false media narratives.
Doesn't mean they were close. It actually means they were really far apart. It's such obvious bullshit. What an insane defense. Saying he's stuck on his election loss for over 2 decades. Barak has for years.
Yeah, like I say before, all this obvious vapor.
In failed attempts to overthrow the elected Israeli government.
Never let it be said that Benjamin Netanyahu is known for telling the truth. We have seen him lie time and time again over the last 3 years now about everything that's been going on in Israel in regards to the genocide in Gaza and actions taken against Palestinians in the West Bank. Drop site news. Job site news here on Twitter. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu this morning is invoking Jeffrey Epstein to smear a political rival, former Prime Minister Ehud Barak from Israel's security establishment, who sits to Netanyahu's left. But job site's reporting shows Epstein wasn't just tied to Barak. He helped open doors for Netanyahu too. An investigation by Murtaza Hussein and Ryan Grimm documents how Epstein facilitated a 2011 meeting between Netanyahu and senior JP Morgan executives at a decisive moment in Israel's offshore gas fight. The same day, the Knesset was voting on tax rules that would determine the future of the Leviathan gas field. Emails show JP Morgan thanking Epstein directly for securing the meeting.
By Murtaza Hussein and Ryan Grimm documents how Epstein facilitated a 2011...
This man had his fingers in just about everything. Like, it's so stupid. It's always got to be the far left. It's easier for them to blame leftists because it's an accepted form of criticism amongst many liberals, center-right people, and right-wing reactionaries as a whole. Jeffrey Epstein helped broker Israeli intelligence agreement with Mongolia. Again, we covered it.
It's worth mentioning. People
in the Epstein's files, conservatives, liberals, Zionists, imperialists, billionaires, tech bros, presidents, people not in the Epstein files, anybody in the left, Antifa trade unionists, Palestinians, communists, drag queens, transgender athletes, and the working class. This was a problem of the capitalist class as a whole. He worked tirelessly, it seems, to capture as many people tied to high-ranking capitalist positions as possible.
Worth noting as well, Epstein helped broker Israeli security agreement with Mongolia.
And now it's coming to light that it might have all been done to the benefit of Israel. The Epstein files contain financial documents proving that Jeffrey Epstein funded the Israeli military through the Friends of the IDF charity. He also funded the largest settlement building body in Palestine, the JNF, 25,000. So these are all things that I think that Jeffrey Epstein contributed to.
But now let's get to the other claims that are being made. So BBC reporting here details of Jeffrey Epstein's post-mortem
released. Previously unseen photos showing Jeffrey Epstein's body lying on a stretcher and being attended to by medics in the immediate aftermath of his death have been released by the United States government. 20 images, many of which are too graphic to show, were published as part of a declassified FBI report into Epstein's death in custody, as well as a post-mortem examination and internal prison documents. In a meeting with psychologists the following day, Epstein said that he had no interest in killing himself, said that it would be crazy to take his life. The document states, on July 25th, he stated he was too vested in my case to fight it. I have a life and I want to go back to living my life. On the night of the 9th of August, the prison guards also failed to conduct checks scheduled for 3 o'clock and 5 o'clock. This is in the morning. Prison documents show, and the camera system in the unit was also down. His body was discovered during a morning check carried out by staff.
This gets to the idea, did he kill himself or did someone else do it? I think those claims are a lot more credible to look into and suggest that, in fact, he didn't kill himself. But we'll get to the claims of him being alive.
The fact that this post has no community note is concerning. He's alive, and they're trying to sell us the opposite. Here's the full pic. Sir Peters.
Images going around saying that
this guy is Jeffrey Epstein. The image is AI generated.
Right. That's not him. So that part of the claim of this photo, at least, not real.
We're so screwed as a society, boys. Like, people are obviously being fooled by AI at this point. But why? Because they want it to be true. There is a little bit of everybody that I think wants Jeffrey Epstein to be alive so they can prove something. And I don't even know what. To what end are you trying to prove that Jeffrey Epstein is alive at this point? Like, you don't seem to care about any of the files that come out. You don't seem to care about any of the people, any of the victims who were traumatized by Jeffrey Epstein and the elite ruling class. Little Saint Jeff 1. A gamer tag.
This is the account that Jeffrey Epstein apparently used. It was tied to his email address here for YouTube. So if you go through YouTube receipts or you search up Little Saint Jeff 1 in the Epstein library, many links, almost all of them, if not all of them, are tied to YouTube receipts. Many of them for, UFC fights. So this is an account he used on YouTube. This gets us to how people are connecting this to Fortnite. Because
the $26 charge was for Vbucks on Fortnite. May 7th, 2019.
For whatever reason, the to and the from are blocked out. We don't know who sent this. I assume it's to Jeffrey Epstein, or maybe it's him sending this out. This is what
he wanted to play Fortnite, but I said no, and he didn't argue. Love him. Let's be you too. Didn't see you much. It sounds like they have successfully integrated Battle Royale, a la Fortnite format, to the latest COD game. This goes back to something that we're learning about just now because of the Epstein files. Epstein's ties to gaming monetization. Newly released documents and emails from early 2026, often referred to the Epstein files, have revealed connections between convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein and discussions regarding the early monetization strategies of major video games, specifically the Call of Duty franchise. These reports allege that Epstein was involved in or advised on strategies that heavily influenced the implementation of microtransactions and in-game economies. Key revelations and allegations. Indoctrinating kids. Emails from May of 2013, around the time Call of Duty Black Ops 2 was introducing early microtransactions, contain a quote attributed to Epstein regarding the strategy. I'm all for indoctrinating kids into an economy. So the name of the game for capitalism, as it always seems to be, is getting to them as early as possible. You normalize the practices of overconsumption and monetization in kids' minds, so that way they grow up with that FOMO culture driven into their heads. And that changes the entire way they judge each other, the entire way they judge themselves. And it creates little consumers that will go on to be over consumers. Connection to Activision. The emails reportedly link Epstein to then Activision CEO Bobby Kotick and other advisors, discussing the use of virtual items, skins, and in-game incentives to drive up revenue. Timing of microtransactions. The discussions appear to predate the significant expansion of microtransactions and pay-to-win systems in the Call of Duty series. Real-world focus. In the correspondence, there was a focus on connecting virtual in-game items to real-world value and rewards, aiming to influence player habits and spending. Reports indicate that in 2018, Epstein was advised to buy stock in Activision. These findings have sparked debate about the ethics of and influences behind aggressive monetization, loot boxes, and live service designs targeting young players. While some discussions around these emails suggest they represent an attempt to maximize the lifetime value of players through specialized, sometimes predatory economic models, the specific direct impact on a final game design is still being scrutinized by the public and media. The revelations have led to increased scrutiny of the relationship between high-profile investors and the gaming industry's turn towards aggressive in-game microtransaction-heavy revenue models. So what I'm dragging out of all that is that if you have participated in any of these in-game economies, whether it be Fortnite or Call of Duty or Apex Legends or GTA, you have been participating in a system that was pioneered, suggested, and advised by a sex trafficker, by Jeffrey Epstein. And I think that now that this has come out, I think we all need to be taking a closer look and really thinking about where we want the gaming industry to be, what we want our kids to be exposed to. Because if the end goal of all of this is to create little servants and little consumers, to me, that's a lot more dangerous than the violence in video games, than a little bit of blood on your screen, than a little bit of gun violence. Indoctrinating kids into the FOMO economy, into the FOMO mindset, into judging themselves and others by how much they can consume is the single most dangerous thing I think that we can do to our children.
That are tied to potential investment opportunities. For example, this one where someone's messaging him, Paul Barrett, saying that he thinks he should invest more into Activision.
Should buy some Activision. This is from the analyst who gave us the Olish gaming stock. The Call of Duty release is expected to be in late October. Sounds like they've successfully integrated the Battle Royale, a la Fortnite format into the latest COD game.
Call of Duty Warzone.
I would put down $1 million
So they're
AKA, they took your suggestion and ran with it.
just discussions of Fortnite deal with that. There are no actual emails, at least so far, showing a Fortnite account attached to this Jeffrey Epstein email address that has of the emails that have been released. So we don't have, receipts, for example, from an Epic stores.
Right. We don't have any footage of him actually playing Fortnite or the
But with that said,
the account being active. Maybe Jeffrey Epstein is still alive. In the Epstein files, there is a receipt from YouTube where his username is Littlest Jeff. If you search this account on Fortnite Tracker, you can see there is an account with that name. And the Epstein files show he purchased Vbucks. His profiles show he is ranked Silver 1 in Chapter 5, Season 1, which was after his death.
Is indeed true. Now, worth pointing out, according to Fortnite Wrapped 2025, the alleged Jeffrey Epstein account played 10 hours that year, 74 matches, and won 7 times, showing the account has been active.
Showing he absolutely fucking sucks at Fortnite. I know, you suck.
The account has been privated. Now, some are leading. This leads some people to believe that, Jeffrey Epstein was found out and he set his account to private. It could also mean it's someone else's account and they started getting messages from people
about being Jeffrey Epstein, exactly. But how many little Saint Jeffs are there? How many little Saint Jeffs you think are going to come up now? How many people you think are going to roll on to Apex Legends, onto Fortnite, named Little Saint Jeff? I bet we could turn on Fortnite right now and we would be grouped into a lobby with a Little Saint Jeff within a couple of retries.
Swiftly deleted from the whole internet archive, claiming that you can't even find it anymore, that they must have deleted the page, when in fact that is not true. It was just having issues apparently loading the page, at least for this person, because you can find it on the internet archive. Here is Little Saint Jeff 1 and their
Fortnite Wrapped. 10 hours, 74 matches, 7 wins, 132 kills.
25.95.
Thank God, at least he has more kills than games played. Jesus Christ. May 7th.
2019. A month later, or 2 months later,
Epic Games hit with class action lawsuit over hacked Fortnite accounts.
So, according to the lawsuit, Epic Games acknowledged a vulnerability in its system that allowed hackers to unauthorizedly, is that a word? Access players' account
unauthorizedly
or debit cards. So there was a charge on the account. Again, this is my take from this, is that it's possible this was actually his account, because it is, Little Saint Jeff 1 is a very specific username.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
Account or someone he was tied to.
Like, how many Little Saint Jeffs 1 are there?
Looked into it.
Were there?
Discovered that it was a charge for Vbucks and Fortnite. And it's possible someone else hacked the account and was charging the account. I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm saying that's a possibility. We consider the dates and consider how the email is actually structured here. But this also gets to Rocket League, a game that I play.
Played Rocket League less than 3 days ago. The profile has the Israeli flag on his profile. No, he's not. No, that's not. No, it can't be.
No, I do not.
You should absolutely not buy into that nonsense. Jeffrey Epstein is not alive. And if he was alive, he surely would not be making stupid decisions like going on an old Epic Games account to play Fortnite and Rocket League. That's not happening. I don't understand what's the matter with people. It just shows how cooked as a society we are and how distrustful we've become over the government narrative. But there is like a non-zero portion of our working class society that wants to fully normalize Jeffrey Epstein and the actions of Jeffrey Epstein, whether it be monetization practices in video games or human trafficking of children. All of it is being normalized through memification. And I'm pretty sure you can guess which side of the aisle it's coming from, because there is only like one group of people who has a vested interest in whitewashing Jeffrey Epstein's reputation. And it's not even so much as they want to whitewash his reputation. They know that once he's clean, by extension, so are they. So going forward, I would be very careful about what you listen to and what you trust. And I know I just got done saying that we need to be more trusting and we need to stop. Well, maybe not so much more trusting, but we need to stop spinning off into wild conspiracy theories like this. But I guess that's it. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. As always, I'm KazariALPHA, and I will see your beautiful faces on the battlefield.